So when you say you was founded on the Christian values, of course, the very easy to be manipulated. Going to be like, well, I don't want to be a Christian. You see what I'm saying?
Well, we do have what they call it, a team mindset, I'll say.
Right.
We want to be a part of the team. We want to be a part of the group. We want to fit in. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to stand out unless it's standing out dynamically. Like you want to stand out like Jordan, but you don't want to stand out like Urkel.
Right. I mean, you don't want to be...
You don't want to be Steve Urkel. You want to be Michael Jordan. Now, here's the thing. On the real scheme of things, when it comes to longevity for the human race, who do we need more of? Basketball dunking 360 degrees? Or do we need more scientific study, mathematician, bridging?
Honestly,
I mean, bridge building individuals. So
honestly, it was something that the entertainer Will.I.am said. It made a lot of sense. With all the new focus being on AI, what about HI?
Human intelligence.
Right. So I think, yeah, we Americans, man, this way we come. We have entertainment, sports, and all that stuff. Yes, and I see where you're coming from. It's less of actually knowing something. You know, hey, I got Google. What you talking about? I don't need to sit in a class for X amount of years and get a piece of paper when I can, anything I need to know, I can go to Google to do, right? But it's the question I want to ask you. I've been asking everybody that I can't get an answer for.
What's that? I might have answered that. I like answering questions.
10 years from now, what do you see?
It depends.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. Now, as you know, I got a show that I'm coming up. I'm finna, tell on some people.
Oh, yeah.
Delta Community Credit Union Bank.
Right.
And Mac Hayek. About to tell on.
Yeah.
So in the next 10 years, what I'm hoping for is that the people who are being used and abused, mistreated,
right,
will speak up and not just sit back and say, I got to let it go. I can't afford a lawyer. We understand the corruption is there. We understand everybody that got bought by somebody. And it is so, even Dr. Henderson said, it's hard to find a lawyer to sue a big company today.
Yeah.
So nobody's fighting for the people. So what I'm hoping for in the next 10 years, that I won't just be one of the people who out here willing to say something.
Yeah.
Fearlessly, like go, this is the truth. Take me. I want to go to court with you so I can tell the truth and we can be public. See, that's what I want to do. Yeah. I want you to drag me into court so I can tell on your ass. So bringing that to the forefront. See, we can't have change and our kids keep going through this while our voice is typing. See, nobody see my page typing, but I can clip your ass.
Right.
See, I might not get but 2 views on a post, but I'm thousands in the clips.
Right.
So give that message away. Give that strength away. And what they say, the first follower ain't important. It's the second.
Right.
So the first person who come along with you ain't important. It's the second person because then they start the third and the fourth join in, which bring the fifth and the sixth and the seventh.
Right.
So just keep going forward with the fight and letting them know somebody else is out here fighting with you. And then there'll be another one and another one. But we can't keep running from the fight. So what I see in 10 years, I'm going to be positive right now.
Well,
I'm going to be positive and say in the next 10 years, I think we're going to have a clean sweep in these elections from 2024 forward. We're going to have the fear of God in these folks' heart. And we're not going to give second and third and fourth chances. We're going to get them out of here in this next election in 2025, 2026. I think that the same construction pace that I'll see in Atlanta, where I'll go and say, wow, I was just here 2 years ago and none of this was here. Mm-hmm. We'll start seeing that in Jackson and in small town Louisianas. I think we can start seeing that because we're going to get those people out of office, get those lies out of office, and the people who care, we're going to put them in office. And I know we can go forward if we got more of the nerds in there rather than the basketball players. More of the engineer girl rather than the cheerleader. And we got to accept that. We messed up. Damn it, the cheerleader shouldn't be the president. The football coach shouldn't be the damn president.
Right.
He should go play football. Mm-hmm. The wrestler, the dude on WWE shouldn't be the president.
Right. And
we got to just get them kind of brains going to where the people who are saying, I want to be the president, I want to be the governor, I want to be the mayor. What are your plans for the people? And I don't mean rhetoric.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
what
are your plans?
See, that's what I want to tell us. Is that, of course, if at our age right now, you should realize that television is programming. And
did they?
You during this strange and unusual election time that we're having, presidential election, very strange and unusual.
Yeah, this is the first one in no studio audience.
Right. Not only that, but this is the first one you don't see nothing. You don't see. Have you seen a sign in somebody else? Have you seen?
Well, I had a sign for Marianne Williamson, but
Yeah. You seen billboards? You seen rallies? You seen them stopping through? And I'm not the two they keep hammering y'all with, but who else running for president?
Well, you got Kennedy running, but once again, the Democrats didn't want anybody challenging Joe Biden, so they made it damn near impossible for those candidates to be seen or heard, and so nobody knows that he even had challengers. Plus, he refused to debate anybody. So it was we're not letting him have a challenger. Now, my problem with that is the DNC is in control of the Democratic Party.
Right.
And who elected them? Who are those people? How do they get to represent the Democrats? Not that I'm giving a damn, because I think the parties are the same. Yeah. And the only reason I am a Democrat is because Marianne Williamson was running for president and I wanted to vote for her in the primary.
Right.
That's the only reason. Me, I was a Republican. And that was because I chose that in 18 because they the ones who freed the slaves. You vote for who you want to.
And it was slaves who started the Republican Party.
Well, once again, it's so much crazy, but once you find out as you get older and do some research, it's the same bird, two wings. And this is something we know. We're friends with DJs and podcasters because that's what we do.
Right.
All right. So lawyers are friends with lawyers. Doctors, nurses. Politicians are friends with politicians. That 1% are friends.
Right.
Billionaires are friends.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi owners are friends.
Right.
They can control the price of anything, anywhere,
right,
at any time, because we gave all the power to 1%. And they fly around in their jets and they land on the island of molestation, allegedly. And they discuss what the price of the new Toyota will be, right, with the Nissan and the Ford guy.
Right.
And they're sitting there together like, what we gonna make? Well, man, we used to sell them for $13,999. Then we got them to $15,999 and $19,999. Now we at $40.
Right.
Why don't we just go put them at 75, baby?
Now we're gonna keep them at. No, you put yours at 40 for 2 years. After that, you go up to 60, and I'm gonna go down to 40 for 2 years. It's enough money out there for everybody.
Yeah, my bonus this year was $56 million.
Right.
So you make the big money this year, Toyota. Nissan, you'll get it next year. And then we're going to bring out this new Ford electric car, this electric, and then we'll get it.
Right.
And we all own stock in each one of our companies. So I own stock in yours, because, I have a trust.
Right.
A shell company that's offshore with money in it too. So there's a lot of things that we know that they're doing, but guess what? Yeah. We still go in there and check the box.
Right. Right.
You go in there and check the box every time. But where is minimum wage at right now? Nationally?
What is it?
7.85, 7.25?
What, a bag of potato chips and
So where it's been stuck. And like I try to tell folks, if the minimum wage doesn't move, the middle wage doesn't move. And you know yourself, we knew $100,000 a year people when we were young.
Yeah. I'm talking about mid-80s.
So how is that possible?
Mid-80s when things were a lot cheaper.
So how is that possible that we've been chasing that same six figures for 40 years, 50 years? We've been chasing six figures. How did they get us how they traumatize us to the point where we scared to go in the boss office and ask for a raise? Remember we used to do that?
Yeah, we used to do that because
used to do that.
You know why we used to, why we had mobiles to do that? I'm sorry.
Hey, it's grown people on it. It's no kids.
Okay. The reason why we had more
testicular
40 do that.
Testicular 42.
Yeah. Oh, drop a glass. Look, because we had nothing. We didn't have big houses and big cars, and we didn't have all that. We wasn't concentrating on that. We
were seeing it on TV.
Seeing it on TV, but we was more that generation was more concentration on it, paying for education. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't want stuff. They wanted the money for, be able to go to the grocery store at ease, you know what I'm saying? And not worrying about paying the bills and all that type of stuff. They wasn't fixated on big houses and big cars. They just want the comfortability, the comfort of having money in the bank. But now
the visuals got us.
That's what it is. The people that we elect. The stars, the sports people, they got us. Hey, and just think about now we got social media with influencers.
Man.
Walking around, showing stacks of money, talking about how they getting paid.
Man. I was saying this. I think I just posted it
Yeah.
So I found where they hire actual crowds.
Yeah.
To protest.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually hiring people. I need 500 people. Okay, we sending them.
We give them $100 a piece and buy them lunch.
Because you know how much actors make sometime a day?
Right.
So that's the thing. You don't have to pay a lot for an actor.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them. And what's the role? Protester.
Right.
We filming it. You're going to be on camera. This is the job. So they showing up, they got the signs, and they out there, and we think they protesting. So we think somebody's fighting for our rights. We think somebody's standing up for us. So what that do? That make us comfortable. That make us feel like they fighting for women's rights and abortions. No, they're not. You just think they are. Because there's no way, in my opinion now, a majority of men should be able to change women's medical rights at all. It's like, to me, that makes zero sense unless that programming, like you just said, is television programming. We so programmed that we're watching that TV. We believe they protesting. We just know that this is not something they're going to be able to do. And guess what? They were never protesting. Them were some actors. And since nobody who was actually going to be affected said anything, you feel me? See, we didn't say nothing other than TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Yahoo. That's the only place we said something. And yeah, we prayed about it.
High five.
I know, they probably high five. So the Congress pushed that shit through.
Yeah, I mean
They like, y'all ain't said nothing.
right.
But we saw them protesting. No, you didn't. You saw them acting.
So I'm acting.
So when I saw that, when I learned that, it was like click. Where did these influences come from?
You saw them protesters in the '60s too. What that do for them?
But again, though, if you didn't learn nothing from them protesters in the '60s,
Right.
you really retarded. That's why I don't march. I'm like, I learned something from the protesters in the '60s.
Mm-hmm.
That's called strikes work better. Of all the protests, whether it be marching, sitting in, standing in, lingering around, hollering and screaming, the best, most effective strikes and boycotts.
That's
Nonviolent.
Remember, sticks and stones may break my bones.
Fuck that. That shit hurts.
But names. See,
that's why I said sticks and stones break bones.
So protesting, you just hollering and making a lot of noise, right? Them words don't bother me, man. You know what I'm saying? But take my money. Stop my money flow.
Stop the money.
Stop my money flow from coming, and
stop the money.
We're gonna have to sit down and have a talk. You know what I'm saying?
That's the one, and best one for me is stop going to this place. Mm-hmm. Stop buying this stuff. Mm-hmm. Now we used to have a lot more options and made that a lot easier. Right. And and I'm really saying if we don't do it now, we won't be able to do it in the future. Right. I was watching this other influencer, and I'm gonna talk about where they come from. Like they all came from out of nowhere, and now they got 100,000 followers. You ain't never seen these people, so I'm like, how they just all of a sudden? But we know people who doing podcasts and doing all this kind of stuff and all that kind of stuff. Not that many followers, not that much influence, not that So the numbers themselves are low. So what I'm saying is like, where do they come from? And once you learn about this acting, paying thing, to me, it's almost like that's the new game.
It's always been a game. It's like equivalent to remember the Weather Channel. Mm-hmm. Oh, they stay in the house and the wind just blowing so hard. Then you got this one random dude in the back walking like ain't nothing going on.
And that's the game. Yeah. And I think that they running that game on us to keep us from seeing what I just saw was this. And that's why I skipped this. This influencer was talking about, if you buy this coffee from this company, they got a recall. It's dangerous, some kind of E. coli, something in it or whatever. And then he shows the list of the coffees that are made by the company. Mm-hmm. And what I noticed is, so we buying coffee from one company. Yeah. They made 3,000 coffees at this one company. Mm-hmm. And that's when I said, damn it, this is Ford Mercury. Yeah. All again, the stupid. Okay. So we gave this one company our recipe for the coffee we saying, and they make the coffee for us. So we don't have to, and they handle the distribution and they handle all of this, but they doing it for 3,000 companies. So for me, it's, if y'all are doing it for 3,000 companies, you just told on yourself. If you recalling all 3,000 of them, that's why you just told. Right. The packaging is different. Right. The packaging and names. The packaging. Yeah. So we out here got I'm buying this master blend in the bag of, and this, you drinking piss over there, sir. That's piss coffee. Because you know how we like to have our name brand and generic coffee.
That's the residue that fell out while we was making the real coffee. That's the shit that fell on the floor. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's drinkable. You're gonna like it.
So it's 3,000 of them. If the beans don't hit the floor, they this big. Yeah. They go in these bags. Yeah. If they hit the floor, we sweep them up, rinse them off. Yeah. Put them in the great value.
That's what I'm about to say. You got Tailor made right here.
Man.
I ain't finna lose no money, player.
But that's the thing.
Pick them beans up.
If we don't do something now, that's one company that controls your coffee. Now, I don't know how many coffee companies there are, but damn it, if it's 3,000 of them over there at that one, they pumping out most of the coffee that we've seen.
Hey, speaking of that, did you know that we have a company that brew coffee right here in the city of Jackson, Mississippi? A lot of people see that's our point. You didn't know that, did you? Because you so conditioned to the TV.
Yeah.
Best part of waking up. Oh, we need a good jingle now to keep at your ear. You see what I'm saying?
They don't even play that commercial no more. Have you heard a commercial for Folgers in the line?
Not in a while.
I have. Now, I don't watch as much TV as most people. And I guess my feeds are, and that's something I cannot stand, that these algorithms, they think they know you by your race, and my whole feed is shit I don't want to see.
Right.
I'm like, my whole feed is some of the dumbest, stupidest, most disappointing shit.
No, I'm gonna tell you the most amazing thing to me is we sitting here talking. I can say a few key words and then get on one of those social media sites, and if it's a product we're talking about, it magically appear on my feed.
And that's what I don't like about the algorithm. I'm like, show us, and this is for whoever is making the algorithm, damn it. Give me some variety of things I haven't seen.
Right.
Or know. See, I want to experience new stuff. See new things. I don't want this circle of darkness. Everything dark. Puffy this. Cube this. I could care less. Show me some stuff I don't know.
Right.
Show me some things I haven't seen. The internet is supposed to be a place for learning. Now, I understand y'all want them to learn nothing, but at least on my algorithm, can you fix mine? Yeah, and
it's getting to the point.
I'm about to get off it.
It might be, I think they're getting to the point purposely to get us old heads off of there, because
I think it's coming to an end.
We're seeing this shit for what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But now, if it gets us off and it holds our kids hostage, what we gonna do? I think they're trying to get the kids off it too, though. I heard some schools abandoning phones and social media.
Yeah,
I think they are starting to wake up.
Yeah, because it's.
Let me ask you something. Who you think gonna fight harder against it, Democrats or Republicans?
I would say Democrats.
Now, why would you possibly say the Democrats would fight against something we know is detrimental to these kids and us? How could you fix yourself to say such a thing about the Democrats, Mr. Taylor?
Because they've been doing it for years, and right in front of our face, that they've been doing a lot of things that's been detrimental to our society for all my life.
Wait a minute. Hold up now. I'm talking about the Democrats now.
I know.
Okay. Carry on. I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, can I give you an example?
Please do.
I'm all for helping people and people having resources if they need the help. I'm all for that. That's what government is for, to provide that if you need the help. But when you put it out there, say for an example,
all right now,
Section 8, I get it. You got people that need that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But when you make it so easy to be manipulated, and people have actually been on it all their lives. You know what I'm saying? And
now, I got to know some numbers over here now. Okay. I audit this stuff.
Yes, sir.
And this, I think this is crossing more than a line of racial things. And if the Democrats are the ones responsible for it, I don't think the Republicans are doing a good job fighting against it. And here's why. The majority of the people who are on a government assistance and welfare are light-skinned folks.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't coming from a racial point.
So and I think that you kind of lining up right now with that one bird, two wings, because we say the Democrats are the ones doing it, and on the media they show us it's us, but the numbers say it's more them. So who does the world see it as?
Right, it's detrimental to everybody. So
the Democrats are actually doing the job for the Republicans. You feel me? They're helping that majority number have that assistance that you're talking about that makes you lazy, that makes you have them babies, that keep you from going to work, that keeps you easily controlled.
So, and let me say it again. I'm not saying I'm against it, because people that actually need that. I'm glad it's there for people that actually need that.
Yeah.
So, but that's detrimental to society. You know, one of the things that, like, well, you made a good point, and I agree with you. It's both sides, because if you know, it has to come to the point where you say, hey, man, we're ruining lives with this assistance. All we need to do is just put some more stipulations on it.
Okay.
And stay strict, you know, with those stipulations, because we're seeing generations of people just deteriorating.
Okay. So I'll throw one in at you, because we know this conversation. It came in around the same time, if I'm not mistaken, around the time when the drugs were starting to hit hard too.
Yeah.
So let's look at what we've already discussed in previous conversations. This is a system design.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a system design has all these working parts, even though some of these parts ain't working, like labor work, but they're still doing the work that they want done. And so, and I've seen this crazy ideology from these rich folks, and that's another reason why I don't be paying that shit no attention, and don't ever think I'm coming to try to be a part of that shit with y'all. Just FYI, they have this ideology of you have to have a poor class, a slave class, so to speak. You have to have that in order for the upper class to exist and the middle class to exist. That's what they really think. Now, the reason I disagree with it is because the smartest person of the time who came up with that was stupid. If that's the smartest person y'all had, and that's what they came up with, then that person's stupid. And you need to quit following stupid people just because they sound good.
And they look good.
And they don't have they shaved all their facial hair off, and they got a suit on and a tie color you like, doesn't mean they're intelligent.
No.
They have stupid ass ideas. And that's one of them, is to create a bottom class people. And then you're going to make it better for society. So, and I give an example, because you got to go back to the history on this one here. Because, you know, I had to find out, when did people get this damn dumb? Okay. Did you know that before pyramid money, now they said the Egyptian pyramids were the ones where they actually found coins and shit, and it was like, this is where we believe money started. Also, they have unfinished pyramids there.
Right.
On, you know, like, so some reason we quit working. But the reason I bring that up is because there are pyramids older than the ones in Egypt.
Right.
There are temples in India. There's China has pyramids. They found the largest one I think they know of so far is a recent in Bolivia under a mountain.
Wow.
So they didn't even know it was there because it was covered by dirt and sediment for so many years. It's under a mountain. And so people were building pyramids before money.
Right.
So our intelligence level, our skill sets were better before money. And here's the thing. If you had no money, then you had no slavery.
Right.
People were doing things because they could. It's kind of like that Kennedy thing. We're not going to the moon because we're getting, I don't think they went. I think it's some shit, Area 51 filming. Yeah. But again, that's just, that's just my way of having fun because of that conversation they was having. My cell phone got shitty service right now, but they were talking on the moon like we talking right now.
Analog.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of relay satellites they had.
I want to talk to the guy that was filming it.
I do too. I want
whoever rode on the spaceship with him, the camera guy. That's what I want to talk to.
Because who they leave behind to take the
while we lunch,
y'all leaving. Who's holding that camera? Or did y'all had a gimbal that was, way back in the 60s, they had a gimbal back then that was watching, But I'm not even going to go here with him.
They had a GoPro, man.
I'm not going to mess with it because I just look at the one thing. I'm not looking at all the rest of it. I'm just looking at one thing. How are y'all talking so fast between each other at such a great distance?
Yeah. It's like
with period, damn it.
Hey,
it should have been a hell of a delay.
I'm gonna give you a great example.
But that's just
once
my math.
I have a radio platform called Southern Gold Radio. It's on the 365 Live Radio platform. When you go to 365 Live Radio, just type in search Southern Gold. I be on every Wednesday and Friday night live.
Right.
Good grown folks music. I had to put my plug in. I said, but I'm finna use this for an example.
Plug them up.
It's the internet. My radio station is over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I would say something and you won't hear it until a minute and 35 seconds.
Well, your internet ain't as strong as the moon internet.
Hey, see, but you know what? That's the problem. See, I'm using digital. They was using analog, so I might need to switch to analog.
I think they were using laser beam, but
how many miles away is the moon?
It's 239 some odd thousand miles. I give or take a couple hundred. I don't know exactly what they used. I just know that there was no delays in those conversations greater than a few seconds. And to me, even with line of sight straight ahead, no. I'm a no on that.
Of course, I'm a
no on
that. Have you ever seen okay, let's go back in the day. Those guys that used to ride around in those cars with the CBs in it.
Yeah.
That had them big
CB guy.
Massive ass antennas on the back of their cars.
Talking about the Breaker 19 guy?
Yeah.
I remember.
But did you see the massive
the two-way radio guy?
Yeah.
What is it? Two-way? What's that radio? The X. You remember the ones that had them radios that go all around the world?
Satellite radio.
No, it was the shortwave radio. Shortwave. Yeah. There was a delay.
And just think about that antenna that guy had on the back of his car to talk to.
But
what happened to the antenna on the back of the astronaut? That was back in the 60s, right? So.
Well, see, they had little baby satellites that actually must have had some type of turbo boosters in them that sent that signal like as fast as the speed of light so that they could say, how's it looking? And he say, one giant step, one, that shit.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go back and watch them. I'm gonna still put this out here like it is, but I'm gonna go watch it again just to see how much of a delay there was, and that's because that's my problem with it. I'm not trying to debunk the nothing else.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to go through the motions of you need 11 feet of lead in order to deal with the radiation of the sun. Once you leave outside of Earth and the magnetosphere, because sometimes the moon does come inside, and that probably is when they plan I'm not finna go through that. No. I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna do that.
Well, let's say if we would.
I'm gonna say, y'all have some hello.
Let's say we didn't have any doubts about it, and we 100% believe it, right?
Have some cell phone service.
I would say if it was 100% true, it's still messed up to me because if you had that type of technology back then,
Good point.
and I'm barely getting it now from what you done had, 60 years ago, 60 plus years ago.
Do you want to hear the story?
What's that?
Now, this is something I nerded up a long time ago, and it didn't make damn bit of sense to me. But they said that NASA, in order to get the space shuttle program, they had to scrap and get rid of all of the Apollo designs, mission, equipment, everything. So in order to get the space shuttle approved to fly around and be a satellite repair person, you had to get rid of the best technology known to man.
Right.
That made it to the moon and back on several occasions.
Yeah.
So in order to get the lesser equipment, you had to give up the good stuff.
Right.
So that to me again makes zero sense when it comes to what the hell are y'all doing? That's another reason I'll say, okay, more than just the sound, that right there sounds like the most tremendous lie ever. Who in the hell believes that shit? But again, this is America, and somehow we did believe that because the space shuttle went on, and we ain't thought about why don't we have a base on the moon, but we started listening to somebody talking about sending probes to Mars. Like, let's be real. We finna put people on Mars before we have a base on the moon. These are things I think are distractions to keep us looking away from the problem in front of us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just how I look at it. I'm like, how we know those Mars rovers aren't somewhere in the Sahara Desert?
Or been dismantled. Or have been dismantled.
I'm just saying though, how we know that's not a studio somewhere and they just fooling us again. And we are duped into believing that everybody we see on TV with scientists in their name and doctor in front of them actually has our best interest to deliver information to us. I think at some point we're having to wake up and say, is any of this shit real?
Right. I mean, I think I've noticed a lot of people doing that now. They kind of just figuring out, and it's right in front of your face. I tell people now, it's a whole lot of things that are right in front of your face.
This shit ain't making no sense.
You got to see it, so you to make it make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this shit ain't making no sense right now.
Right. You know, I told her like a joke. I was like, "Hey, you mean to tell me that you can send a rover to Mars and control it from Earth, make it move, drive it, take pictures and all that, but you still got to stick your finger in my butt to check my prostate?" Well, now you know they could do it with blood now, but they prefer to do it with a finger.
Who prefers?
Yeah,
I'm going for blood.
And I'm like, so it was actually some people in the class was like, yeah, I want to do the finger.
So, given the option, blood or finger, now, what can your finger see? No, I like the feeling butts.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
You're going to get some blood, and we're going to stay a virgin.
Right.
So, again, when we looking at, try to make this stuff make sense.
Right.
I think I know I am. It's not making sense to my grown self.
No, it's not.
You know.
It's not. I mean, a lot of us were the ones that want to think into it, because you got a lot of people that refuse to think into it. And the ones that refuse to think into it, God bless them. But the ones that are really putting it, you know, they're getting pissed off for one, because it's like you've been bamboozled. And two, that, you know, hey, since this country has a history of bringing truths out 30, 40, 50s, and 60 years later.
Do they?
Can you just go ahead and tell everything?
Well, And this is something we talked about.
Yeah.
About the reason I don't think they do that, and the reason they use these actors and performers to keep us where we are is because we did demonstrate bad skill sets during COVID.
Right.
We did that. However, you put the people in a panic mode where it was life and death too.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a good foundation to try and judge our true spending habits when given more money.
Right.
Because, we discussed they got more money than what they did. Tennis shoes, crab legs, fireworks. That was the whole shit. However, now let's be real. There was a traumatic time where we losing people down. They scared. They don't know if they're going to be here tomorrow.
Right.
So living it up, I get that. I can get that. Now let's take that being the way they think. The ones with the money. Well, you see what they did when we gave them some money. Yeah, you also put them in a life-threatening situation and told them that they might not live to tomorrow. We got a disease out here killing people that fast.
That's right. And then we gotta have a car company to make ventilators. And and remember they said, once you get to the hospital, we have to put you on a ventilator.
So what? And that's the wrong treatment. Ventilators killing people.
And then it was like, okay, then
oops.
Send them some money. Let them sit home. Send them some money. Tell the landlord you can't kick nobody out right now, man. Even though we are sending them money, they getting the money. You can't kick them out if they don't pay you.
Man, that's why their rent went up like that. Though.
Right, and then this too. Here's the kicker right here. I want to set up a program for people with businesses that have been impacted by this pandemic, and it's a program that assists you to pay your employees. And
you ain't.
And
no, you ain't.
We're showing y'all that we care, so we're gonna have something for everybody.
Now, I'm probably gonna hurt some people right now.
It's not
because as a business owner, if
it's the truth,
as a business owner, I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of businesses did, and they didn't tell their employees.
What's that?
All right, so during that time, also, this was like after, and this is one of the reasons why I'm finna get on that bank's ass is because of some shit that happened. Like my second round of PPP was denied because of that bank, because I was going through some stuff and they lied in court. They're the community credit union. They sent the lying letter to court, and in order to keep punishing me, they interfered with my SBA loan. Yes, I can prove it because I sent an email to one. I'm talking to the phone, talking to one of the employees, and let her know about it. And I'm already approved. Already got the first draw. Second draw is I'm just waiting on the date to release. How come after I told her that, the system said unable to verify? My business, I celebrate 10 years this year in business, but you unable to verify now. So I got that proof too. So something that the companies didn't know about now, because my company is small and, I have, but 2 employees at the time, every company, small and big businesses. Now, I got the email for the small business side, but I heard it's a big business side too. It's an ERC. I think it was the ERC, Employee Retention Credit. All right. So employee retention credit was something that they gave to employers for keeping their employees. Yeah. If they were W-2.
This is my first time hearing that.
No, it is. Well, again, okay, so this first time you hear it, but let me tell you what it was. So now, that's every employee you kept during COVID, you got $25,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my email said. Now, I didn't get the money because, again, like I said, I had 1099 employee, so I didn't have a W-2. But It was like if you had a W-2 employee and you were able to maintain them through COVID, you could qualify for the $25,000 ERC credit. So a company who kept their employees qualified for that extra $25,000. Now you don't hear that on the news. You hear about the fraud part.
Right.
You heard about this company got X amount of millions, but you didn't hear about that extra $25,000 bonus, which that's a salary for some people.
Yeah.
That could have increased wages across the board. Had the companies with enough employees invested it right, you could have gave bonuses to your employees. But you think they did?
That's what I was sitting there thinking about. I can imagine Walmart turned that down because they
Bruh. Now, imagine how many employees they had. Or, just across the board, if they qualified. I don't think they told their managers that. You know what I'm saying? You had to be in the email receiving zone to know that.
Right.
The corporate email receiving status.
Yeah.
To know that extra $25,000 was available to you just for maintaining your employee. So the company got that big old bonus. Amazon's, Walmart's. Food prices still went up. Gas prices still went up.
Mm-hmm.
Housing prices, ridiculous.
But hey, no, wait. Now they bought the employees some pieces and gave them masks. Hey, pause right quick. Let's go.
We'll take pause.
Edit purposes, pause.
Why you want to do that? They bought us some pizza.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's how they show appreciation. Is they give you those little bitty things and you get happy. And see, unless you know somebody though, like you got to know somebody that had this information,
right? So
before you hear about it, and that's how they win.
They put it out there, but they didn't put it out there. It's out there, but every day man.
But see, how is this the first you heard about it?
That's the first time I ever heard of it.
But see, everybody who owns a business know about it.
Right.
Everybody who had a business during COVID know about it.
The business owners knew about it, but the employees didn't know about it. We heard about the PPP loan.
Right. But see, you didn't know about the ERC.
Right.
Okay. Employee retention credit.
Mm-hmm.
$25,000 for maintaining W-2 employees. So all the people out there in the country, your employer got $25,000 for maintaining your status during COVID. And I hope you got a bonus or a share of some kind of something, because you should go and research that and see how much money they actually made, because that's not, if I'm not mistaken, that was a credit. And most of them times you don't have to report them to that ain't a bottom line issue. That ain't how much profit did y'all make? Shitloads. Man, we had 20,000 employees.
That's correct.
That's just a bonus. But that's what we keep voting for though. Let's get back to that. Not them.
Bathroom break.
It's us.
That's why I said
right. Oh, okay. Well, hey, we're going to stop it right now. We're going to act like this show is going off and we're going to come back on and we just start back up again,
Yeah.
But we're going to take a break and we're going to have a part 2 to this. Mm-hmm. So this is, again, the AwDid. We got Mr. Taylor here. Glad to have him. My dude.
Oh, yeah. Glad to be here.
From Southern Gold Network.
Yeah.
On
radio. That's right.
Southern Gold Radio. Definitely hit him up. 365 Live. Download the app and type in Southern Gold.
Wrong folks music now. Don't come over there expecting to hear that.
Ain't no Hoochie Mama?
Man, no.
Hey, man, give him some Hoochie Mama every once in a while, man. But hey, we'll catch y'all on part 2.
No doubt.
See you in a little while. And